Howdy folks, and welcome back to Hilda. Today we're going to be watching Season 3, Episode 3, which is titled The Giantslayer. And we haven't heard anything about giants since Season 1, Episode 2. Way back at the beginning of the show. So, curious to see how, with Giantslayer, obviously we're not potentially going to see a giant, just someone who has slain a giant. But still, more about giants, which I was expecting. When I first heard the title Hilda and the Mountain King, I thought that would have to do with giants. Nope, trolls. So it's interesting to see these kind of come back into play, maybe just for a single episode, but I'm also intrigued, confused, more so intrigued in the fact that the last episode ended on one of those classic Hilda stingers of something of what's to come next, with the either fairies appearing or two of the mushroom creatures from the fairy dimension kind of thing appearing in Toffatin, but also our crew leaving Toffatin. So I'm pulled in multiple different directions, especially knowing that this episode is about 5 minutes longer than your typical episode of Hilda. I'm thinking, okay, so do we end up back in Toffatin to deal with fairy stuff and it's big and epic, or do we just go back to Trollberg to deal with kind of normal stuff, but we get an elevated good longer episode? Because if you think back, the only two episodes that were longer in runtime were, I believe, the Deer Fox, which was Twig backstory and lore, which was very emotional as an episode, and then the season 2 finale, which was set up for the Hilda and the Mountain King movie, The Stone Forest, a lot to do with the trolls, which were, these are both two big episodes, not just in runtime, but in plot, in emotion, in all sorts of stuff. So I'm really curious to see what we get here, whether it's just a good Hilda story that just needed a little extra time, or just something just truly huge for the show itself. I don't know what to expect. I have not read the blurb. I am doing my best to just not glance over there and see it. So I think we should get going before curiosity gets the better of me. So let's scooch over into position here as I take this opportunity to thank you for watching this video. We are almost done with Hilda, which kind of sucks, but we get to move on to other things after that. Arcane should be starting up in November, which will take the Hilda spot. I think there will be an overlap, but for a couple weeks. But after that, it'll be Arcane Season 2, and then who knows what after that. I don't, even though I thought very far ahead, not that far. But hey, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you at least see when the rest of the Hilda ones come out, and then as well as the other stuff I'm going to be doing afterwards. Check out some of the horror stuff I'm doing. I believe this one should come out right at the end of Halloween, right at the end of October, I think. So hey, there's been a lot of extra content on the channel this month, which I'm very proud of. Half of which I've made at this point, half of it I haven't. So hey, go check out some of the extra stuff here. Maybe you'll find something you like. Don't forget to leave a like on this video and leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this video. Leave a Tallman, you idiot, you fool, you weren't ready. If I wasn't indeed ready for whatever I'm about to witness here. But let us start up Hilda Season 3, Episode 3, The Giantslayer, in 3, 2, 1, go. Cold open this time? Nope. They haven't hit us with... No, they did. In the premiere of this episode, of this season, we had Aunt Astrid writing the letter. I think I did promise I was going to pause on something in the intro here, so... Just gonna, right... Let's see. I do see a giant here, as well as Alpha. Okay, I see Alpha playing, what is it? Not the Catan game, but the similar kind of game. Anyway, that's what I see two giants actually in the background here. So maybe I happen to pause at the exact right moment here. But regardless, let's continue. The Giantslayer. Ooh. Just trying to take that all in. I love the framing of the sword in the ground, with the giant in the background. We get a lot of those, just something big and overwhelming, imposing, just kind of standing with something between its legs in the foreground. Well, there's a little fairy charm, so we're at least still dealing with fairy nonsense. I love that hit of the... Yeah, the music this season is very Infinity Train. Oh no, she's not protected from the fairies anymore. That's not good.
You know that charm was to protect you here in Toffatin. Now you're home. You don't really need
Phone
to
call.
replace it.
I know. But somehow I'd just feel safer if I had it.
It's a cut
Ferrotalk tree. Okay. Not too far away, it seems, actually. And the fact that she hasn't come to visit, she has this endless supply of this wood from this tree, and she hasn't come to visit in recent memory. Either she just grabbed a shit ton when she was, visited last. We know she visited at least once. Or she's just straight up just avoiding them. Like, I guess you can come visit me in Toffaton. I don't really want you to, but I can't say no when you're asking. That's a special looking tree. It looks like it's about to send me on a quest to... Oh, hey, Woodman.
For me.
Woodman!
I have been looking for him. Slick.
Ancient trees, huh?
Very nice.
Doesn't say anything about me. Let's just say I'm a kind of caretaker of these woods. Trees this old need someone looking out for them. Hacking and sawing off branches just for keepsakes. Magic wands, charms.
Funny thing about why I'm looking for it.
That's why I'm patching all these holes.
I will say,
this for a second.
I'm very glad that the Woodman is in the longer episode, so we at least get more Woodman than we have gotten in a very long time. Also, what is this music? It's almost like freeform jazz for the animal shenanigans.
I wouldn't want anything to happen to my hammer.
Even with a little stinger, like literally like a rim shot. Oh, I forgot to mention, my tea is the vanilla Komaro in the fantastic Mr. Fox mug. Had to point that out. Still too hot to drink, of course.
Twig!
There's lots of twigs in here. Get it? I need another one of those jazz rim shots there.
Twig, come back here!
Did she go somewhere? That was, yeah, those were crumbled before. I say that only because we had like a flash of white. Yep. Oh, how old is this? This is like hundreds of years, right? I can tell because of the music. It sounds very stereotypically medieval.
Careful, Twig. Unless this is a very convincing historical reenactment. I think we might somehow be in the past.
No, there's just a Ren Fair right on the other side of the tree.
To be on the safe side, we should try really hard not to change anything.
Uh-oh.
I messed with the timeline before and that got really scary really fast.
Yeah, I was gonna say. We already had a time travel episode. Oh. That's why there's giants around, because we're in the past.
Giants.
If it weren't for the Giantslayer, we wouldn't have any hope.
Who's the Giantslayer?
Interesting.
You haven't heard of the Giantslayer?
Lady, I ain't heard of anything around here.
Just last week, he caught that one's brother. The dumb thing's probably searching all over, trying to find him.
Oh. Hilda kills a giant while she's here. Changes everything. Oh. Oh, look at... Oh, making little rivers? Look at all of them. That's legitimately pretty breathtaking.
Well, you
Oh,
don't
hi.
see that every day.
Woodman, you followed us.
Well, I was worried. You have still got my hammer, right?
I thought he was gonna... I thought this is gonna be Woodman, and he's just like hundreds of years old. Also, Woodman's just hundreds of years old. He said, "See, I told you I should have been in the book about ancient trees."
Not from around here, are you?
Well, I kind of
Technically...
am, but not really. It's a bit complicated.
God, look how big they are. I mean, I know we've seen giants before
See for yourself.
in the
He isn't
past.
well hidden, but I fear it's a trap. They're using him to try to capture more of us.
I wish there was something I could do to help.
There is nothing you could do. You were just a little girl.
Yeah, I mean, if all the giants can't go in there and get him
How
back.
did this happen? How did we travel through time?
The roots of the Ferrotalk tree run deep. I mean really deep, traversing time and dimension. But it's more accurate to say we're in a sort of alternate universe.
Interesting.
Alternate universe.
So I can mess
If
with
we
things
change
here.
something here, it won't affect our own timeline.
That's right. Consequence-free.
Excellent.
Yes! Kill! It's like the people who load up their saves in like Elder Scrolls and just like kill all villagers in like
Giant
every
friend.
town.
Can't you see he's in distress?
I knew a guy who just had an empty Oblivion game because he just
Very
killed
bored. sword.
everybody he could in the game.
Well, I'd like to give this giant slayer a piece of my mind.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like an Alberg. I know Alberg was a.
Someone wish to address the Giantslayer?
I know Alberg was a troll slayer, but long lost cousin.
Oh, you have a visitor.
Pig. Oh,
You're the giant slayer. I am.
it's just a kid. So I'm torn here because I think I've mentioned in the past when I pull up Netflix, typically it grabs something from like the most recent season to use like as its banner, and it cycles through a couple of them. Like and they all seem to be season 3 ones. Ever since I've started watching, I've gotten Hilda and Joanna like sitting in the woods with like their tea, kind of like this with like the fireflies in the background. And I think I noticed that shot from, was it the first? Whichever one it was where they were with the fireflies. I don't remember. The two kind of blur together for me just a little bit. I think it was episode 2, because episode 1 was the Waff adventure. I think, right? Yeah. Whatever scene they were outside with the fireflies and Hilda was like, why can't we just move here or something like that? Yeah, that's right. Because that's when Joanna was like dodgy about her past, and then she finally admitted she had a fairy run-in. But one of the little banners they have is Hilda sword fighting with this individual here. And it was always like, I had always watched Hilda and saying like, who is that? Like, I have no clue who this person is. Never seen them before. How does it get to a point where Hilda is fucking sword fighting them? Oops, now here we are. I think shit's going to go really bad in this episode. And by really bad, I mean, we might get some intense shit happening. So now I'm like both nervous and very excited. Let's continue.
Walk with me. Okay.
Even has an animal sidekick. Perfectly evenly matched, a 2v2.
When the giants come to rescue their friend, we strike. And how many giants have you slain? Officially, none yet.
Okay.
But this one soon. I just need him as bait. Once the other giants fall into my trap, then we slay. Yeah!
I was gonna say, I have a feeling at least one is going to be slain this episode. I don't think someone can rightfully be called the Giantslayer if they haven't actually done it yet. Also, their camp was very, very much, it felt like a Monster Hunter, like the room that you get in every Monster Hunter game that you can like kind of customize a little bit, but like it's like my least favorite aspect of all of those games. It felt very Monster Hunter. I expected to see an item box in the corner that holds just like dozens of weapons in it somehow.
Did you negotiate a peace treaty? Convince the villagers to lay down their arms?
Not exactly.
Well, we should probably get back to the tree now.
No, we have a chance here to actually change things for the better.
But
We can do something.
it's consequence
We
free.
have to do something.
At this point, it's just for your own like satisfaction, right? Because Woodman said that, it's consequence free. I would assume both good and bad, right?
I'm just a little concerned about how these villagers might react to a small wooden man with a floating head.
They'll think you're hilarious. Don't worry. There's one thing I've learned about people in general. They love you, dude. But yeah, like
We need to
Hilda,
go through that rope.
you're the only one who's in really real danger
My
here.
hammer for
That sword's okay, so it's not as big of a sword as I thought. I was about to say that sword looks as big as she is. No, it's actually kind of Hilda-sized. She accidentally slays the giant. She becomes the giant slayer. Oops, my hand slipped.
no, Woodman.
See, all right, I didn't think Woodman was in actual danger here, but
Now listen, are any of you fans of the jazz guitar?
what is this jazz? Oh no,
Would be to know them.
Leave him alone! Huh?
Hilda is about to genocide this entire
Hold on,
village.
scratching for just a second. I'm trying to
At least gave her a soft landing. Oh, she's out. They're going to call her a witch. She's like, no, actually, my friend Frida. Frida's the witch, actually. I can go get her if you want. Oh, are they literally going to burn him at the stake? Also, how does this kid have so much influence that all of these grown-ass adults are following him?
Look! They're just defending themselves. Whose side are you on? Please, give us a second chance.
What if Hilda does actually change things in the present and the Woodman was just full of shit when he says this was consequence-free?
I know your people are planning to leave, but it doesn't need to be this way.
I don't know if you can talk to this one,
Trust me.
Hilda.
It's not only me you would have to convince.
Please, I have to try.
The world has gotten too small for us.
He is right.
Believe. It is the only way.
We all agree.
All humans do not feel the same way about us. This little one says we should try to make peace with the villagers. She says it will take time, but it's worth it.
Damn, look at that shot.
The decision has been made.
Not all of us are happy about it, but it must be done.
Yeah. That necessary evil kind of thing.
I can speak to the Giantslayer. I can make him see.
Oh, little one, we're not leaving because of one Giantslayer. You'd have to change hearts all across the world.
Yeah. And once again, consequence-free, right? Yet Hilda's still going to, like, you know, according to what the giant said, to the ends of the earth, right? She would have to.
Why must you insist on helping monsters? He's not a monster.
Twig's like, Twig says, fuck it, kill. Kill!
He's your friend? Then you are my enemy.
Oh shit, here we go. Hilda has had a little bit of sword training, right? Well, I guess here's how the fight happens. Oh yeah, I told you, 2v2. Let's go. Ugh, what's in those barrels? Oh, is it like tar for the fire? Oh, we're gonna get a raging inferno going, aren't we?
You don't have to do this. Silence, monster lover.
Damn it, she's got like no armor. Oh, Twig. Okay, I was gonna say, be safe, please. Here we go. Woodman's like, this sucks.
You've got the giants all
There's the shot.
wrong.
That's the shot that Netflix has been using.
Destroyed my home. Then we have more in common than you think.
Riveting conversation, but you might want to speed it up.
He says, I am going to fucking die. No, the tree. The tree, that's their way home. Oh, is Hilda gonna be stuck here?
They're not attacking. They can't help it.
Okay. Of course, this is a, you know, I was about to say this is a show aimed at younger audiences, so they're not going to have Hilda just straight up like run this guy through, right? Yet at the same time, I'm just remembering that we had David who literally died twice in an episode in season 2. So, and we saw multiple Hildas die in season 2 as well. So this show is not beyond death. You know, granted, temporary death, and this child, I'm assuming, does not matter in the grand scheme of things for the plot of the show. This does, at least on the surface, unless there's some greater meaning that happens for later in the season, appear to be a one-off, unless that tree burns down and they can't get back, and Hilda's stuck here for the rest of the season, which in that case, I miss all the other characters already, but at least she's stuck here with Woodman, the goat.
They took everything from me. Everything. No one steps on a house by accident. We do it every day.
Have you signed the paperwork?
I didn't even realize.
Oh, wow.
Maybe you do, but I would notice if I did that kind of damage. Did you mean to do all of this?
Yeah, your own village, right? Or your own encampment.
If you just give the giants a chance, you could live together in peace. You could even help each other.
Hilda.
Oh.
My toes are beginning to tingle.
Oh, please.
But our way home is on fire, too.
Yep. Oh, that's Raging Inferno.
I don't know what to do. We need water.
The snow giant. The snow giant, right? Yes.
You! Thank you! How did you escape?
Yeah.
The giant freer.
Aw, that's better.
I know this doesn't make up for what I've done, but do you think you could help me put out some of these fires?
Okay, but I'm gonna fucking melt here. Oh, that works.
I strongly suggest that we get back to the tree.
Yeah, Giant. Could you give us a little help? No, they're dipping.
No, it's still happening. You don't have to go.
Literally, just turn around and look behind you. We got him. We got the one back.
It doesn't have to end like this.
Uh-oh. What a shot.
Wait.
Wow, still left anyway. At least they left on that better note, right? Oh, is it gonna jump while Hilda's still on it?
No one is listening.
Goodbye, little one.
I'm still on you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just let go at that point and just hope for the best. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, oh, Woodman's driving. As much as one can drive a waff, right?
We may have a bigger problem.
Yo, that giant didn't fucking put that out? Come on, dude. Oh, that little shit. Oh, and the hammer. At least the hammer's fine. Hands? Oh. Oh, they're all to different time periods. Oh, that tree is gone. Oh, they did change things. Oh shit, they did change everything.
This tree must have been some kind of pan-dimensional constant.
Oops.
I
Wait.
failed. I had my chance to change things, but I was too small.
If the tree is gone, Astrid can't make... Oh, God. Is this world going to be overrun by fairies now? Because if it was the magical properties of the tree that Astrid was literally using for the charms to protect against the fairies, she can't get that wood now. Because it came specifically from that tree. Oh, Hilda. You fucked up, I think.
Those giants made up their mind about leaving a long time ago. But they won't forget you. I'm saying change takes time.
I'm saying go back home and check.
We're always around to see the outcomes of our good deeds. Well, my job just got a lot easier. But it's not.
We'll take that,
the
I guess.
end. Just time for a fresh start. Maybe I'll plant it a little closer to home this time.
Okay, so you can
where
plant
there
another
are
one.
fewer vandals to worry about.
Yeah. Damn, Hilda.
Before you
Called
take that
out.
away with you, could I maybe possibly break a little piece off?
Okay, so she did get it. Also, yeah, see, she's got a sword in her room. It's like every normal teenager. I got a sword at the Renfest one time. Oh, they watching. Yo, they're after her. I couldn't pause on the voices. Rita, David, Mom, Alpha, Astrid. There's just additional voices. It doesn't list the Giantslayer as his own credit, unfortunately. Well, that's unfortunate. Regardless, what an episode. So here we are. I was coming to the conclusion that the things that they did here wouldn't have implications. But, you know, I always knew it was a possibility that the Woodman just could have been full of shit when he said that, right? God, that was a good episode. It's one of those ones you always have to judge longer episodes. Like, okay, was it worth the extra runtime? And I absolutely think so. The fight, the build up to the fight against the Giantslayer felt good, earned. The fight itself was tense, given the literal ticking clock situation with the Woodman, the Giants all leaving. But like the Woodman said, the Giants made up their minds a long time ago anyway. God, yeah, it's just the implications for everything. Like, I really want to see the rest of... I mean, granted, I guess she went home and everything was, like, mostly fine. The giants left anyway. Really, it's just that one tree. I really want to talk to her Aunt Astrid again, and it's like, hey, Aunt Astrid, I'm just calling you again. It's like, Hilda, I haven't talked to you since you were 4 or something like that, right? Whenever you had your visit. That's weird. Why are you calling all of a sudden? How'd you get my number? Kind of thing. Or she could even not be in Toffatin, right? Because without the charm business or whatever, like, you know, I know she said Toffatin is her home. Maybe she would feel less of a attachment to the place, given her lack of purpose with the fairies and everything. I was just expecting her to come back and just everything is just like run out with fairies. Granted, yes, I know they said Toffatin was like the fairy capital of the world or something, but whoever these two are, they are following Hilda. And the fact that they're like cloaked and translucent, definitely fairies, definitely not mushroom people, right? So it'll be interesting to see, you know, obviously Hilda has a little bit of protection. She has a little bit of that wood there. I'm glad that the woodman can plant another one. Whether it'll have the exact same properties or not, who knows? But, wow, just what an episode, man. Time travel's interesting. Yes, they had a time travel episode last season. It was very good. It was very emotional for these characters that we barely knew. But here we got a completely different time travel story. Whereas that one was, yes, there was a bit of action and peril with the time worm kind of thing, which I'm honestly surprised the time worm didn't show up here. Like, what are you doing here? And got Hilda, or tried to get Hilda, right? Because she's creating time paradoxes and anomalies, right? But then again, that one only really came when there were multiple Hildas, right? Kind of causing trouble. But regardless, totally different story. Whereas that one was more character focused on their neighbor, and I guess, you know, come to find out that was Tildy, right? You know, it was just an emotional story just from that. This was a lot more action packed, a lot more overall bigger picture kind of story with the whole struggle between the humans and the giants. And yeah, it was just really good. Like, putting the two together in a shootout, it's hard to say just because they do feel so different. And I don't want to give like any kind of a judgment right now. Like, it's something I'll definitely have to think about. Definitely have to revisit this one while editing, and kind of get a feel for like kind of that second run through and kind of notice things that were not necessarily even called back to or foreshadowed, because, you know, at the end of the day, it was still a pretty basic plot. It didn't feel longer. It did feel just kind of like a normal episode, just kind of a chunky one, a juicy one. But the extra 5 minutes didn't feel too much or anything. So I guess very well done on the pacing there. Great, you know, very well written episode. Didn't feel rushed. It felt just the perfect amount of time. And had it been a 23-minute episode, it would have struggled a little bit. Some of the stuff would have been, I don't know, just a little too fast, right? So I'm glad they gave it just that little bit of extra time, because I think it really, like, no pun intended, it literally added to it, yes, but really added to the strength of the episode itself. So this was, I mean, hey, far and away, this is my favorite episode of season 3 so far. I said last time I don't think episode 1 was very good. Episode 2 was much better than that, but this was special. This is the one to beat for the season so far. And from what I've heard, the series finale is, you know, incredible as well. So I have a feeling that's going to easily top this. But for now, I'm just reveling in how good this one was. So, hey, I think I'm done talking. So what did you think of this episode? Don't forget to leave a comment below. Let me know. Give me some fake spoilers. Give me some fake fairy spoilers for what those two are doing in Trollberg. Sightseeing, you know, hey, fake spoiler. Hit me with them. And don't forget to leave a like on your way out, and come back next week as we get to the halfway point of Hilda season 3, the final season. I made all this time without like being sad about the fact the show's almost over, but now here I am right at the end, right at the 40-minute mark for my recording. Oh, why have I done this to myself? Regardless, come back next time for the next episode of Hilda. Take easy, and I'll catch you later. See ya.